Macmillan Audio presents I Liked My Life by Abby Fabiaschi. Read for you by Susan Bennett, Thérèse Plummer, and Dan Bittner. For my father, Michael Anthony Fabiaschi, 1955 to 2008. He had the gift of stopping time and listening well, so that it was easy to hear who we could become. Brian Andreas. Chapter 1. Madeline. I found the perfect wife for my husband. She won't be as traditional as I was, which is good. She won't be as intelligent, either, but Brady endured 20 years of my unending intelligence. Under my tutelage, he learned that kale lowers cholesterol. A little girl wanting to marry her daddy is normal. And no matter how many times you look up at the road, emailing while driving is no safer than drinking and driving. These insights were valuable at the time, but useless given our present circumstance. It's humbling, really. I spent my life hell-bent on not turning weak like my mother, who let jugs of Gallo wine make most of her decisions. And yet what Brady needs now is someone softer than me. Not fluffy, not gooey. He'd never fall for a ditzy or fickle woman. But not so damn right all the time, either. Someone who won't be irritated by the intermittent pauses he takes in the middle of a sentence. A good listener. A sleeper inner. A non-scorekeeping woman naturally inclined to nurture our daughter, Eve. Recruitment is the least I can do. I focused on elementary teachers, knowing it takes the unique combination of enthusiasm and patience to choose a profession where you spend most of the day reasoning with 6-year-olds. The demoralized state of my family won't be a turn-on to the easily deterred. I was at first disheartened to find almost every teacher accessorized with a wedding ring. It's as though men know how tiresome they are and set out to marry women proficient at putting up with baloney. The available pool was so picked over that the few remaining were bitter about it. But as I readied to move on to nurses, I spotted Rory. She was on bus duty, sporting large, circular sunglasses and rhinestone-studded flip-flops. She somehow managed to look cool at 40, hopefully by not having kids. Brady and Eve have no room for additional baggage. There can be no blending of families in their future. Rory's brown hair was pulled back in a loose braid, every inch of exposed skin covered in freckles. She remained all smiles, even when a shot of snot from a passing boy landed on her skirt. She's in the grocery store now. I'm taking in particulars to make sure my instinct is correct. You'd think intuitive faculties heighten after death, a sort of cosmic prize for crossing the finish line, but so far they have not. The last world sits unceremoniously like a movie screen below me. There's no spirit offering guidance. I'm not gracefully soaring above in white satin, gleaning insight on the existential questions that once kept me awake at night. People think of ghosts as haunting, but it's the other way around. You all haunt me. My life is now a delicious dessert just out of reach. Perhaps I'm in purgatory. If I had known I'd crossed the finish line in my 40s, I might have given formal religion more consideration. Brady's parents were big into it. And there were a couple years during adolescence when my mom dropped Meg and me off at catechism, leveraging the church as a sort of free babysitting. She got the idea at an AA meeting, which I assumed was where one went to learn new places to hide booze, since after she came home from AA she always relocated her stash. What did that young nun tell us? I strained to recall the details. Evil souls go to hell. Pure Catholics go to heaven, and souls destined for heaven, but in time out, for reasons that are now a blur, go to purgatory. I'm certain she said one couldn't go from purgatory to hell, or stay in purgatory forever, because I remember finding it odd there were such defined, well-documented rules. Did someone have a direct line with God? And if so, could we kindly request more willpower for our mother? I do sense there's more to the spiritual world than my current purview, but see no path to get there. For me, there's nothing but space and time. That I put myself here makes it that much more agonizing. I won't find peace until I make things right for my family. It pleases me when Rory selects a beautiful
Sample complete. Ready to continue?